So I might have gotten myself a new drone. So thanks for tuning in, guys. So today we're going to be checking out my new drone right here, and it's the BabyHawk O3 system, and I'm really excited to have this. So traditionally I've been doing a lot of my shots with the C8 Corvette that's drone footage using my DJI Air 2S unit, and you get really great shots with that. You get really nice smooth cinematography type shots, but I wanted to look at getting something that could give me a little bit more dynamic shots, and this right here I think fits the bill. And if you're worried, the channel is not going to go anywhere in regards to change from automotive to now I'm doing drones and stuff like that. It's still going to be automotive, but this is just a kind of fun video that I honestly thought it would be fun to put together, because this right here is going to be a cool little tool, in my opinion, to get some more dynamic shots. Now, my wife and I are still debating on whether this is actually a toy or it's an actual tool. It's a serious tool, in my opinion, and in no way am I having any kind of fun with this whatsoever. Anywho, now that I've said that BS, so this thing is going to be pretty fun to fly. But what makes this little drone right here more interesting is the fact that it has the camera from here is a DJI camera. It's the DJI O3 Air unit, and it's the same kind of quality and level as what you see in like an Air 2S, but it's on a freestyle drone, and the best part about it, I don't need to put a GoPro on top of this. I can get all the video just from this camera. It's that good. And all the stuff that you saw at the beginning of the video is coming directly from this camera. So that's pretty freaking good for what you're getting. And on top of that, certain details like this, even with the battery, is under 250 grams, so I don't have to register it with the FAA. Things like that, it's kind of nice. So I might go into more detail in a future video. I'm not sure. If you're interested in knowing more about this kind of quadcopter and stuff like that, let me know in the comments. I could make more stuff about it. But in general, like I said, this is always going to be an automotive channel. This is always going to be about the C8 Corvette and things like that. So I'm not but this is just kind of a fun extra thing that I thought it would just be cool to share, because, well, yeah, I'm freaking excited about this thing. So this will be my first time flying this, although I did do a very, very quick brief flight in my backyard just to make sure everything was working properly on this, because it is a little bit of a setup to try to get everything set up at least the first time, and it was a completely new territory for me. But everything worked out fine, so we're ready to go and fly this thing. So let's get set up and check out how it does. Alrighty. Let us do this thing. So right now it's disarmed. So basically it's not gonna run. I have to arm it, and that starts the propellers, gets everything moving. So I'll arm it, and then I'll start the recording, and then actually get it onto the air. So let's arm it. I actually started automatically recording, so we should be good to go. So without further ado, here goes nothing. Ooh, there we go. All right, we are up in the air. So again, this is a freestyle drone. So I have full control of this drone. So it takes some getting used to. It's definitely different than the DJI traditional drone that you would get. So you have to be very, very careful with your movements, and it's a little bit windy today. So I just have to be extremely careful, but it is amazing what you can get with this kind of shots. I mean, look at the quality of this. I mean, I'm trying to be very, very careful with this, because it is still very, very much new to me, this whole entire experience. And even with time in the simulator, you definitely don't want to overdo it with this kind of stuff. So, but overall, I mean, you get some really, really cool shots just starting off with. So let's try to do like a little flip here, and there you go. So awesome stuff. Like, this is really, really nice in regards to a really, really cool setup. I'm definitely digging this, and it's for such a little quadcopter. I mean, it flies really, really smooth. I mean, I'm taking it really easy this first flight. Not doing anything crazy. I'll get a little bit more acrobatic after I just got kind of a good feel of this one. This one handles a little different than obviously the DJI drones. Let me see if I could just do a quick run like this. Yeah, you could definitely get some really cool shots. Whew. God, this handles like a dream. And we have like 10-mile-an-hour winds right now, and it's handling them like a champ. So I'm definitely happy with how this is performing. This is awesome. And a little upside down motion. And yeah, no, handles that perfectly. So I'm feeling really good about this drone. I'm so excited about the opportunities that I can get with this kind of drone kind of deal. Like, it's so nice. The wind does make it a little bit more difficult. You're gonna feel the wind a lot more with a smaller drone than you would maybe like a 5-inch drone. Like, there's a pretty good, like, I'd say it's getting like around 10 to 15-mile-an-hour wind, and it's still handling it pretty decently well. So I'm very happy with that, how it's working out so far. Woo! Yeah, no, this is really good stuff. I definitely am enjoying the heck out of this thing. Once I get a little bit more practice in, I think this is going to be such a fun drone and tool for that matter to kind of fly and get more and more accustomed to using. Like, I'm definitely liking how this is feeling kind of deal. Super nice. So yeah, like I said, I have about like 10. Sorry if I'm like not talking as much with this. I am definitely just trying to concentrate and just, you know, not crash this drone, because I just, you know, I don't want to crash it now that I just got it. This is such a blast to fly. And look at that kind of shot. Oop, I kind of missed it on that one. So yeah, I definitely need to get a little bit more practice in it. It does make it more challenging with the wind to kind of just get those kind of dynamic shots. But that's the kind of stuff that I'm thinking I can get, especially like if I were to go to like a track or doing like car rallies or whatnot. I could get some really cool footage with this kind of drone, and it looks like, and it still looks really cinematic, and all without a GoPro attached to it. So I really do like how this is feeling and going so far. I mean, this is really cool. Like, definitely getting a lot of cool shots. I mean, I'll go that direction. There's a car there. But yeah, no, this is really nice. I definitely am so glad I got this drone. If you can't tell how excited I am by this. Let's get a little high up and we'll do like a little dive here. And that wasn't as good of a dive. I messed that up. The wind kind of throws it off a little bit. I tried to dive into the wind instead of away from the wind, and it just didn't help at all. There we go. That's a little bit better. It's still a little nerve-wracking doing some of these dives, because I mean, I just want to dive down and I'm like, oh god, that ground is getting way closer and faster than I like am realizing. But overall, I mean, this is still super cool. I'm definitely loving this. This is so awesome. Oh man. It's just like, so in general, like with these freestyle drones, and that's what they are, they're freestyle drones that you have full control with them. But at the same time, like, this one is a little bit smaller than the traditional 5-inch drone that you would get, that has a little bit more power, is able to just be a little bit more acrobatic. Generally, when you start getting to the smaller type drones, they are, and the ones that have like ducted fans, those are called Cinewhoops, and those actually you can get really cool shots that are very cinematic, and you still get the nice smooth winding motions, but they're not as good for like freestyle, like flips and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I kind of stayed away from them, or at least for this first drone. I wanted something that could still be acrobatic and that was a decent beginner one. And this, I think, fits the bill really, really well. So I'm very, very, very happy with that. There's a doggo over there. Just got to keep it away from the doggo. Yeah, battery's starting to get a little low, so I do need to land. I just want to wait a few seconds, let them pass by, kind of deal. And there you go. So that's the first flight of this this drone, although I do have to kind of admit it is actually not the first flight. As you can see, it's the next day actually. So I had a little bit of complications. So when I first tried to fly this, I couldn't get, the recording wasn't working. Oh, this is really, really cool. I'm having a blast with this. So I had to troubleshoot a little bit more to actually get this to work and start recording. So I'm hoping that the recording is working on this now. So I have two more batteries that I'm going to go through and try to get some more cinematic footage, and more practice really, and then yeah, go from there. So let me get that drone set up and we'll get on the second flight. So flight number 2, we got it armed. Looks like the recording is working. So let's get going. There we go. So let's get a little bit more acrobatic. I mean, it's still kind of windy, so I don't want to go too crazy, and I'm still very much a newbie on this. But let's see what else we can get with this kind of deal. Get a little bit faster with the movements. Actually, I need to reposition my hands a little bit. Ooh, okay, there we go. The wind's definitely picked up a little bit, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. So I need to get a better grasp of the joysticks. I would do like little gaps and stuff like that, or try to go through little gaps. Like this one little hole right here, I've been really thinking about going through, but the wind is just definitely picking up, and it is, because it's a smaller quad, it definitely gets moved around a little bit. I have to compensate a bit, so it's one of those things I probably don't want to risk it on this time. Yeah, I'm fully sideways just to go straight on there, so the wind is definitely picking up and making it a little bit challenging to do stuff. I can still do general basic stuff, but I gotta just be careful about it. I don't want to, I just got this drone, so I don't want to like crash it or anything like that. At least not for another few flights, at least, kind of deal. Because that'd just suck putting all this investment, because this took me about 2 to 3 weeks just to get this set up right. Because not necessarily that it's difficult to set up, it's a bind and fly, which means that it's pretty much ready to go out of the box. But all the nuanced things that is kind of difficult, like if you don't know, you don't know. And I had to do a lot of research just to get everything to work correctly together. Once you have it all figured out and you know the process pretty decently, it's not that bad. It's just that initial learning curve is a little high. But now that I've gotten through that, this is just a blast. And is definitely something that I honestly wish I had started doing a lot sooner, because this is so much fun to just get really, really cool dynamic shots. I really want to be able to take this like to the track or like a car show or a car rally after I get a lot more flight time and a lot more practice, because this still is quite challenging to do. And it's definitely a different beast than the typical drones that you get from like DJI that are commercial drones. They're great, but they are built with a purpose to make it as easy as possible for the user to use. This definitely requires some skill and some practice, a lot of practice, especially in the simulator. That 10 hours of simulator time is like the bare minimum, I would say, if you're ever considering doing this, that you have any reasonable competency to actually be able to do this correctly and not just completely buck up your quad. And honestly, I would say it would be even more for anyone that's completely new to this kind of stuff, since I've been around drones for a little bit, even though they've been commercial, I still definitely would say that, yeah, like the 10 hours is definitely a minimum amount of training that you would want to do in a simulator. And I use the Get Fly simulator, or no, not the Get Fly, the Liftoff simulator is the one that I've been using to actually learn. And you can build a custom drone that's kind of similar to the feel of whatever drone that you're trying to or thinking about buying or whatnot. And it works really, really well. And like, it translated very well to when I was first flying this and just trying to get a feel for it. It was interesting, like the simulator, my throttle input was much more pronounced in the simulator, meaning like this drone has a lot more punch than it would have in the simulator, and that was just interesting to just fly and kind of get a feel for it. So like in the simulator, I would use like maybe 50% throttle to just maintain altitude and stuff. This I'm using about 35%, and I can punch it, and it is just really, really right there, ready to rip. So we're getting near to the end of this flight here, so I'm gonna get ready to land this. Battery's starting to get pretty low. It's still a little bit challenging to just try to land this. Okay, and there we go. And disarm. So that's flight 2. So one thing I will notice, so I have the goggles too, which is like the newest version of goggles from DJI, and the picture and stuff is really good, but this nose piece is definitely built for someone that has like a very sharp nose, very distinct nose, a lot sexier looking than my nose, which is kind of wide. So it kind of like pushes on my nose and I sound like I'm nasally, but I'm not. It's just the goggles pushing on my face. But in any case, anyway, so I'm gonna get set up for the third flight, and I'm gonna talk a little bit less in that one and just kind of fly so you guys can just enjoy what it feels like. I'm gonna try to go as hard as I can, that with how comfortable I feel to do this, like as fast as I dare go kind of deal, because like I said, it's still all new to me. So let's get that set up and let's get going. So last flight, let us do this. And So yeah, definitely when you start ripping on this a little bit, it kills the battery a lot faster. So definitely feeling it. It's nearly dead. I'm probably gonna start bringing this in. I don't want to. I really don't want to stop. This is so much fun. I'm probably gonna need to get more batteries because I only have the 3, but I could definitely use some more so I don't have to wait as much in between, because 3 is definitely not enough for me on this. This is just too much fun, and I cannot wait to try to use this for different kinds of videos, including automotive videos. Get some other cool YouTubers involved, or just people just in my general group, like my Parker County people on a rally. This would be really awesome to get some really cool dynamic shots with. So alrighty, so I think the battery is nearly done, so I'm gonna get ready to land this baby. Still, landing is still technically the hardest part for me on this. So with that, and no, I'll move it over here, and that worked. So alrighty, so that's my new drone, guys, and definitely am loving this new tool. And it's a tool, it's a serious tool, it's not a toy whatsoever, although it's got to be both, honestly, guys. This thing is so much fun, so I'm really excited to try to get some more shots with it. I'll definitely be getting more practice with it. I'll probably make a few extra little videos here and there, just showing it once I get a little bit more experience, kind of deal, doing really cool tricks and stuff like that. So in the meantime, please check out any of my other videos, and we'll see you next time.